With our national anthem all wrapped up, let's take a look at our starting goaltenders. First up, for the Phoenix, they have elected to go with Parker Stockseth. It is only his fourth QMJHL game. He has an 0-2 record with an .842 goals against average and a .750 save percentage. He has 17 goals against on 68 shots so far in his QMJHL career. For the Sea Dogs, Arseny Radkov will get the nod. He is 14-13, 4-1 with a .337 goals against average and an .887 save percentage. Of course, Shane got the start against the Phoenix whenever they were at TD Station earlier on this year. He was pulled 4 minutes and 14 seconds into that game. He allowed 2 goals on 4 shots. Radkov came in. He stopped 20 out of 23 in relief, and he will get an opportunity to get going again here against the Phoenix as we are set and ready to go. The puck is down, and we are off between the Sherbrooke Phoenix and the St. John Sea Dogs. Taking it into the blocker side. It's going to be rimmed down for an icing call early on in this matchup. When the Phoenix were at TD Station earlier on this year, they ended up getting the best of the Sea Dogs in a 6-3 win. With an outstanding performance in that one was Kian Labe. He stopped 34 out of 37 St. John shots that was directed in towards him. LeBay is top 10 in goals against average and save percentage, and he is 5th in wins in the QMJHL. He's been the backbone here. There's no doubt about that. From the point, this one's going to be shot in, played back around. Looking out in front is going to be Gauthier, not able to connect, as now back will come the other way. It's going to be centered off in front as we have McNeil trying to send this one in deep. Brogan McNeil, the former Shawinigan Cataract. Here's Chartrand. Up the middle, it's going to be Dom Foose. Back again, we will come. Koche tries to take a swing at that one. As now played back for Dom Foose. Dom Foose back for Koche again. He'll get this one deep inside of the Phoenix end. As we have Donovan, now Grew working away here. Komakov, Bordeaux, as well as Tremblay all in the mix here for the Phoenix. As Tremblay headmans this puck, he'll look up ice, trying to shimmy one along, working their way in. Now it's going to be Plouffe, a shot into the glove of Radkov, and he will hang on for the whistle. Just a few seconds in here to this matchup. As Arseny Radkov played all 3 games on the last Quebec road swing for the St. John Sea Dogs. And he did not play in the first match against the Cataract. He will play in the second one here against the Phoenix. As the Sea Dogs continue to try to work their way up the standings here before it gets too late into the season. As this one loose in the blue paint off to the far side half wall, Julian Wasmer will take over. High up and off the glass, Donovan tries to get there. It's going to be worked back for Della Roseville, and he'll play this one up the ice. Wasmer again, back to recollect and headman this puck. Grew dishes one across. Here's Donovan looking to center a feed off again. Got intercepted and will be threaded through the 2 Sea Dogs defensemen and back into the neutral zone, where we have assistant captain Olivier Duhamel looking to gear up as he hits 7th gear and tries to fleet foot his way inside the zone. Dumping this one in, but just not at the red line for an icing call. As Della Roseville will come back to collect. 2 Gagnons on the point here this evening for the Sherbrooke Phoenix. Sidney Gagnon, the 06, 6'1", 179-pound defenseman, was a 13th round pick by the Baie-Comeau Drakkar in 2023. Now, back-to-back once again. Heavy seasons, heavy minutes here in the QMJHL. And then Zachary Gagnon was a free agent in 2024. Played 20 games last year, had 1 assist. This year, this will be his 38th game that he has played in, finding more regular minutes here. As it's going to be dished across, here's Baldwin, up ice, Jabez Seymour, one of the hottest Sea Dogs around. It's him or Alexi Joseph with the goal scoring that Jabber's done for the Sea Dogs in the last couple of appearances for him. As it's Komakov, back it comes Plouffe, working this one up ice, Zach Moran up for Seymour, and he'll dump this one in. Seymour wanted to come to St. John because they offered him a bigger role than what he had with the Charlottetown Islanders, and he's certainly getting that here, and he's making the most of it. Here he is again, that one just off and wide. That would have been something right on cue, Jabez Seymour. Up it comes again now. Coche drives in, looks out in front, Morin the backhander, and down to cover is Parker Stocksteath, and he will hang on. As what a scramble that has been. As Stocksteath there to save the day. So the face-off to the glove side of Stocksteath. As now, the line of Olivier Grew, Alex Donovan, and Angelo Fullerton out to take the offensive draw. Off the face-off, one back by the Phoenix. It's going to be at the blue line, chipped up and ahead, and rimmed all the way down below. We have Duhamel. Now Crayer. Donovan looks to work this one up, and it'll be handed off for Gagnon once again. At the red line, drops it back. Della Rosebill over the blue line, trying to play it through once more. Drabchinski. Now Duhamel rocks his man out in front as that was Klaukens coming to try to lay the body, but Duhamel with the stiff shoulder right back at him. As we're over 3 minutes through here in our opening period between the Sea Dogs and the Phoenix, and we have a 2-on-2. Here's Donovan. He'll lead the rush down inside the Phoenix territory. Grew with it now, tries to center one back up in front. Klaukens will once again buy some time. He'll drop this one back. Gagnon moves this puck up. Plouffe will play the long rim around as Dom Foose works it back. Drabchinski takes a swing at that, tries to chip it by his man. McNeil able to keep possession. Drabchinski continues to battle, and he'll eventually work it up for Nolan Aru. Aru plays the dump in. Played a lot of time in the third period last night for the St. John Sea Dogs and looked comfortable out there. There's no doubt about that. As we approach the 16-minute mark, it's going to be the Phoenix turning it over McNeil, but Rossi wasn't able to get there in time as him and Yaird had a bit of a miscommunication as to who was going to go and retrieve the puck. It'll be worked back. Jean-Felix Lapointe will now wait for the line change. As Jean-Felix will wait once again. Here's Lapointe playing this one up. Long stretch feed broken up back the other way. Here comes St. John. Fullerton works this one in. Down low, Lapointe plays the backhander around. Looking to gear up now. It's going to be Zachary Gagnon. Long flip feed and beating out the icing calls. Olivier Dubois. 22 points on the season. He had 3 of them against the St. John Sea Dogs earlier on in January. As this one's going to be played up. Here's Tremblay activating, looking to take the shot, drops it back, trying to take a chop at that one. It was Russo as there's a scramble off to the side. We have Dom Foose playing a backhander up. Nice feed. Morin is able to poke this one down the length of the ice. Fullerton now looking to center. Morin hits the trailer. Wasmer takes the shot. Big block there by Olivier Dubois. We have Morin once again, loses that puck, now attacking with speed. Jaden Plouffe tries to turn on the Jets as this one will ramp up off the stick of Radkov and out of play. As a exciting start here so far in this one. It's been back and forth. There's no doubt about that. As Jaden Plouffe has been active here in this one, a few good rushes. Up the length of the ice. Hasn't been able to beat Radkov just yet. Off the draw. Plouffe snaps this one back. Gagnon loops it in down low up there with Della Rosebill. 16 points for him on the year. As a cross-ice feed finds Sidney Gagnon. Looking back door and they'll score. On a great feed there, Sidney Gagnon threads the needle and finds Ilya Kolmakov to make this a 1-0 game. As Kolmakov on the year, usually more of a pass-first guy. That's Kolmakov's 10th goal of the year, his 37th point. Radkov had his angle off and just too much open net to the blocker's side. And that will allow Kolmakov to find the open cage. on a nice pass by Sidney Gagnon, his 14th point of the year for the former 13th round draft pick in the QMJHL entry draft. What a career he's carved out for himself. Here's Giroux against Grew. Grew tries to work this one back, and he will. Magnuson will drop this one back, goes D to D, trying to fire a pass up the length of the ice. Magnuson out there with Everett Baldwin for the third pairing here tonight for Travis Crickard. This one out in front, a loose puck as Stockseth looked like he had it covered. But the puck trickled out and the Sea Dogs tried to go full attack and just couldn't sneak it by the rookie netminder. As we mentioned in our opening, it's been a shaky start for Stocksteth in the QMJHL. He has a .842 goals against average. He's let up 17 goals in 3 appearances on only 68 shots. It's been shaky. He's committed to the University of Massachusetts for next season. As Grew gets kicked out of the face-off, and man, has he ever been unlucky with that. Last night, you could see he was getting visibly frustrated by the end of the game. And with the amount of times that he was getting kicked out of faceoffs. Here's Baldwin from the point of drive. That one high and wide. Rebound out in front. Not able to get a clean piece of that one was Fullerton as the puck was bouncing on him. Baldwin again tries to slap this one up the boards. Fullerton tries the through pass. Not able to make a connect with his captain. Belmar works his way into the outside of Magnuson. Good stick there by the Sea Dogs, number 44. Is Tremblay back again. Magnuson now plays the hard rim around, looking at the far side at half wall. It's going to be Dubois in there. Magnuson once again, who's had a strong shift here. It's going to be forced out in front. Radkov will cover. And with that, we'll step out for our first TV timeout. 1-0 Phoenix here early on between the Sherbrooke Phoenix and the St. John Sea Dogs. Welcome back as we are set for the face-off here to the blocker side of Radkov. One back by the Phoenix as they look to set up shop. It's going to be turned over. Sea Dogs trying to spring themselves, and now here they come. 2-on-1 down towards the goal to the forehand. That one just broken up at the last second, as I believe that was PJ Fogon with a great defensive stick. Able to break up the play at the last second as it was a 2-on-1. It looked like Yared and potentially Crayer. We'll have to double check, see if we can get a replay, but that was a great opportunity there for St. John. Just couldn't capitalize. Here is Crayer. Dumps this one back into the blocker side of Stockseth. As Stockseth watches, his team tries to break out of their own end. It's going to be Houle. 2 goals against the St. John Sea Dogs in their earlier matchup here this season. 2 of his 17 on the campaign. 41 points for number 16 in navy blue here this evening. Here's Plouffe now. He'll turn on the Jets once again. Already seen him work and use his speed to his advantage twice here so far. This shot's going to deflect off and wide. 12.5 left to go, just under that. As Della Rosebill keeps it in, but it will be pushed up and over the glass for a stoppage in play. As De La Rose, Bill. Strong defenseman on the back end for the Phoenix. Former second-round pick. Not a whole lot of size to him. 5'10", 164 pounds at the start of this year. But only an 08 born player, so still plenty of time for him to grow. As Seymour now steps into the face-off circle. Part of the upside of Jabez Seymour is his versatility. He can play winger or he can play center for you. Good penalty kill guy as well. As now Coche tries to bring this one back. It's going to be Seymour looking off to his backhand, and he finds Morin. Here comes Zachary Morin looking back for Seymour, trying to swing one back out in front. Didn't see a lane. Still with the puck is Seymour as he throws one for Morin. There's going to be 2 Phoenix players on him. That pass not going to be able to work out. Here's Wasmer with it again. Fires one up to the far blue line. Morin not able to get a piece of that one. And we will have an icing call against St. John. As Kian LeBay, you can see him on the bench there for the Phoenix. A rare off night for him. As his record 22-13-2. So between every other goalie that the Phoenix have used this year, they only have 2 wins. Kian LeBay is 22 out of 24 wins for this Phoenix team. That would hopefully be a good omen for St. John here tonight. As now here's a drive in. That one deflects off a skating wide. Picking things up will be Wasmer from his own end. 11:30 now left to play. Shots 10-4 in favor of the Sea Dogs. But Stockseth has stopped everything up to this point in time. As now, here come the Phoenix, looking for the cross-ice feed. Morin picks it off, trying to stride in and take over is Donovan, looking for a backhander. Nobody home. Morin able to turn that puck over, looking out in front once again, though. A no-look feed, and it won't work out for St. John. Here's Houle, tries to cut to the inside, taken over by Chartrand. Off the yellow kick plate, up the length of the ice, it's Fullerton. Finds Grew, back for Chartrand, right up the middle. Here come the Sea Dogs with it again, dumping this one inside of the zone. It's Lapointe now. As Lapointe works things up for Houle. Houle will find Russo. Russo takes a step in. This one is ripped up and over the cage and into the netting for once again a whistle. As Thomas Russo turns on the Jets himself. 40 points on the season for him. That's good enough for top 3 on his team. He's second, right above Komakov and below Tremblay. And he's still out there now. It's Rousseau against Grew. And the Sea Dogs captain wins it back. Dom Foose hard around the boards. This one will be directed down towards the goal. Just missing Stockseth. And yet another icing against St. John. As it has been mainly St. John here controlling the play, but as of late, these last 2 attempts, it's been a strong effort from the Phoenix, trying to keep the pressure on St. John. Here's Olivier Grew with Rousseau once again. And Rousseau wins it back. Tremblay off the draw. Had that one blocked. Picked up Bordeaux. And it was taken away from him. As it's going to be now Dom Foose. Trying to chop this one around. Chartrand works it back again. Rousseau. As now Chartrand tries to shimmy one along. Up ice Fullerton. Spins one around. It's going to be Olivier Grew. Tries to chip it inside the zone. He's taken down. And we'll see... No penalty on the play there. Was thinking an interference, as that was quite a long time from the dump into when Grew got hit. But they'll let them play here tonight. Here's Rousseau over the red line, dumping one in. Dom Foose now on the recollect. He'll find Magnuson. Carl-Otto Magnuson looks up, hits the feed, and it's going to be Coche looking to the inside on his horse. Now Yared Excuse me, that's Gauthier. And it's going to be turned over. Zachary Gagnon. Right up the middle. Gautier's there to intercept. And now here come the Dogs. Back the other way. Seymour, Gauthier as well. All in there. As now a one-timer from Magnuson. This one missing up high. Baldwin at the point. He'll direct one in, looking for the tip of Gauthier. As now Gauthier in on his horse, trying to work that one through. It's going to be played back in by Gauthier for Seymour. Seymour along the half wall, up for Magnuson, across. Here's Baldwin, loves to shoot it. He does there. Just couldn't get it in towards the blue paint. So that one deflects off a shin pad and wide. It will be picked up by Tremblay. He'll try to carry it in himself. It's turned over, and the Sea Dogs will regroup. As Carlotta Magnuson now looking to gear up once again. Long feed sent down the length of the ice. It's on the half wall now, as we have once again Rozzi, Crayer out there, Nolan Aru for Travis Crickard-Wasmer. Back on the blue line. And he'll turn on the Jets. Here comes Wasmer using speed. Up the short side wing, quick shot in off the end wall. Rozzi again, plays it back through the backhander. It's going to be regrouped again by the Phoenix. Wasmer once again now Duhamel. Wasmer from below the goal. Drops this one back. It's turned over, and that was a scary sight. But Sherbrooke misses the pass, and the Sea Dogs get a break. As we have Tremblay, long lead feed down the length of the ice. On and racing after it is Komlikov. St. John, Wasmer, first one to it though. And now it's going to be Donovan. Broken up, Nolan Aru slides in and he'll take that puck. Quickly met there by Plouffe. Can Aru get it by him? No, he can't. Back the other way, it's Houle. Houle matches up against Duhamel, finds his man. It's Tremblay with the shot in from the point. And Radkov will glove that one up. And able to hold on and boost his stats. Here is Louis Alex Tremblay, looking for goals against the Sea Dogs in back-to-back games. As still the score 1-0. As it was Komlikov from Gagnon, Sidney Gagnon. The lone goal that we've had here so far. Long feed up ice. Here comes Fullerton over the blue line. He'll shimmy this one along. As now played back once again, Loic Poirier. Former Trois-Rivières product in the Quebec Major U18 League. And again, another late pick. He's an 11th round draft pick in 2024. He's played in 49 games so far this year. Strong performance from him in his rookie campaign. 15 points as well in that time. As both of these teams definitely building for the future. There's no doubt about that. Back in behind the goal again now. Here comes Sidney Gagnon. Great offensive showcase on that first goal, and here he comes again. High-stepping his way through. It's the offensive zone as Houle. Up at the blue line covering. That shot rifles up high up and over the cage. Donovan again. Works it back to Foose. Plays it across. Sea Dogs try to wrap this one up the length of the ice. Houle there to bring it back again. As we now have Sherbrooke looking to set up. Plouffe, he's been a driver here tonight. There's no doubt about that. Here's a loose puck. Radkov able to make that stop. His stick ends up at the face-off circle, however. Is off to go back to retrieve that one. Dumped in again. It's going to be now Chartrand. As Grew overskates Radkov's stick, and it's still out at the face-off circle. Chartrand will hold it back behind the cage. Good heads-up play there by Chartrand. And Radkov, if I was Giroux there, would have been a little bit more aggressive, try to force Chartrand out. Either way, Sea Dogs try to counterattack. Quickly turn back over, and right back in again will come the Phoenix. No, we'll have a whistle. As it Looks to be an offside call on the play. With that, we'll step out. Score still 1-0 here for the Phoenix. Live from Sherbrooke. Welcome back. It's the Sea Dogs. It's the Phoenix. And it is 1-0 for Sherbrooke. As it's back to the point. Here come the Phoenix now as they'll try to counterattack. Lampron leads the charge. As Olivier Lampron, former 9th overall draft pick, as he was selected to Baie-Comeau in 2023, had 32 points last year in 57 games. He's only played 11 games this year. No points yet. Looking for his first here. McNeil from behind the goal, not able to make that one count. Here's Lampron again. Looking out, McNeil shoots. Radkov again. Another stop in the St. John goal for Arseny Radkov, keeping his team in it here. As Arseny Radkov continues to work the glove here from Sherbrooke. As it's Nolan Aru in on the face-off circle. They'll match up there against Cloukins. Cloukins will win it back. Gagnon takes a step to the outside, as he's been aggressive off the blue line here tonight for the Phoenix. Belmar chips this one in deep. Cloukins loses that battle for Aru. Gets it back quickly. Tries to shovel one in. Not able to hit his spot. Might have gotten a bit of the post there. Not sure. Here's Aru in against Sidney Gagnon. Nolan Aru tries to create a shield there for himself as now Crayer comes in to help. We have Gagnon in as well, mixing it up. Cloukins quickly back the other way as the Phoenix try to go from north to south. And it's back once more. Crayer across the blue line. Now the red. He'll dump this one down. Shots at one point were 10-4 for St. John. It's now 10-8 as Sherbrooke has rattled off a quick 4 shots here. But a turnover, and now St. John with a good opportunity as Coche narrowly avoids a check, but it results in a turnover as Russo back up. Here comes Coche the other way. Morin tries to stride into one. He'll let a shot go. Fought off in front. The rebound off to the blocker side. As well. Work it back around again. Gauthier is on the receiving end of a hard hit there. The bench door opened on him whenever he received that hit. As we hope that he's okay. Staying in the play for now. Chartrand with a big reverse check on his man. As this one sneaks by the Sherbrooke defender at the blue line. It's a physical couple seconds there between these two teams. And it's going to be a cross ice feed as we have Bordeaux trying to shimmy one deep inside the zone. Now Dom Foose out there trying to work it up and along the boards. Brought back down low again as Sherbrooke forces St. John to regroup. Chartrand goes off the glass, and it will be back into the Phoenix hands. Here's Donovan now with Grew and Fullerton. Tries to sweep it off in front. He was looking for the stick of Fullerton as he was driving the net hard. And it's Baldwin on the backhander. Now Fullerton Back for Baldwin once more. 3 minutes left to go here in period number 1 as it's dumped inside the zone. St. John looking to set things up. Here's Baldwin working it in down low. Donovan now tries to play a give-and-go game. It doesn't work out for him as Houle collects and he'll enter inside of St. John territory with Plouffe taking over. Magnuson as well. Here's Grew. As Olivier Grew throws this one back. We have Baldwin. Once again, can't work this one out as it's now Plouffe trying to spring himself once more. Baldwin with 2.5 now left to go in period number 1. Sea Dogs leading the shots by 3, but they're losing the game by 1 to Sherbrooke. As it was Ilya Kolmakov, 3 points in 4 periods against the St. John Sea Dogs so far this season. As now, here comes Giroux with a burst of speed. Crayer tries to pocket pick him. Work back out in front. That one not cleanly recepted by Bordeaux as he tried to fire one home. Up to the blue line. Tremblay able to keep it in. Close-sided half wall. Bordeaux keeps things alive with a backhand shovel down low. We have Magnuson. Crayer in there as well. Lampron on the 4th line for the Sherbrooke Phoenix here tonight. Still looking, as mentioned, for his first point of the campaign. D-to-D pass. Tremblay waits, cuts to the inside, brings it back. Tremblay again. Still holding up. Tremblay throws it back again. It's going to be Bordeaux with the long drive in, and Radkov is there to stand tall with 88 seconds left to play in period number 1. As Radkov, definitely the busier of the 2 goaltenders in the second half of this first period. He's seen some shots since the 10-minute mark or so. The Phoenix have come on strong, trying to end this period out strong. As off the face-off, St. John would love to head into this first intermission tied up at 1. And it's Wasmer off for Seymour. A bit of a flipper in there towards the goal, and we're going to have a whistle on the play. As it looks like a Sea Dogs power play here as Cloukins will head off to the box. St. John's power play last night was 0 for 2 against the Cataracts, who had 6 power play opportunities, or 5, power play opportunities. Sea Dogs power play on the year, 21.6%. That's 10th in the league. The PK for the Sherbrooke Phoenix is 11th in the league overall, but 6th on home ice at 81.9%. As it takes a 4% boost when on home ice. Here's Baldwin. He'll take a drive in, the rebound right back to him at the top of the point. Off for Rossi. Rossi goes back for Baldwin once more. Grew to the inside. A quick shot. Rebound loose. Fullerton couldn't corral that one in. As again now, it's going to be Baldwin playing it back. We have Rossi out on this power play instead of Alexi Joseph as the puck goes into the bench. We'll see if that's a coaching decision or if Alexi Joseph is injured. We haven't called his name much here this first period. We'll have to see if he was a late game time scratch or an early injury. But right now it's Fullerton, Grew, Rossi, Donovan, and Baldwin out there. Off the face-off. It's going to be the Phoenix at control. This one fired easily down the length of the ice. With 45 seconds left to go, Radkov wants to start it himself. Here comes Rossi, wheeling his way into the zone. Dylan Rossi sweeps one backdoor, looking for Fullerton. He didn't pull the trigger. Now it's going to be Baldwin. Back for Grew. Baldwin at the point. Takes the shot down low, scores! Alex Donovan on the power play. On a great feed from Everett Baldwin. Faked the shot and hit Donovan right on the tape, and he's able to fire it. Low glove on the goaltender Stockseth and tie things up. Might have snuck 5-hole. Alex Donovan on the power play for the St. John Sea Dogs, and we are all tied at 1. Donovan's 7th power play goal of the year. That moves him tied for first now on the team with Olivier Grew. As heading into this matchup, Alex Donovan was 8th in rookie scoring. And he has continued to play some great hockey here for St. John. That's exactly what Alex Donovan needs to get him going a little bit more here. On this Quebec road trip, he had a quiet game last night. But looks like he's in the mix here a little bit more now. Driving in, another shot in, and they'll score. What an answer back. It's Kolmakov again. His second of the game, just seconds after the Sea Dogs scored. There goes your tie game. Ilya Kolmakov now with goals 9 and 11. And he has 4 points in 4 periods of play versus the St. John Sea Dogs. As let's take another look at this one. Held in at the point by Della Rosebill. Kolmakov walks around Koche. And that's his man. And Koche lets Kolmakov walk around him, and smooth sailing from there. He'll let it fly as he's able to beat Arseny Radkov and make this one a 2-1 game. So the Phoenix, of course, they did get the first goal in this matchup when they score first. They are 13-7-1. They haven't done it a whole lot this year, as the Sea Dogs are 21 for 53, and the Phoenix are 21 for 52, now 22 for 53. So both teams struggling to score first here, but on this occasion, it's the Phoenix. Now look at Houle just go right after Bodom Foose. And Dom Foose isn't going to stand for that. Neither's Morin, as Morin drags back his man. As Florent Houle, we'll have to see if something happened there. As Houle went right after Dom Foose, I thought, from my point of view. So that was odd. We'll have to get a replay on that one, hopefully. As Florent Houle saw Dom Foose, and everything turned to red. Now we'll see what happens out of this. Still just the first period here in Sherbrooke. As that came out of nowhere. Della Rose will skate back to the bench with 3 sticks. So that's what the Sea Dogs didn't like. And Dom Foose went right over to Poirier. Okay, so that's what started it. So that explains why Houle went right after Dom Foose. So there's our explanation as to why Florent Houle went right after Bodom Foose, and then everybody else jumped right in after that. It's Olivier Dubois arguing his case. Looks like a Sea Dogs power play potentially. Yes, hold on here. Let's take a look. We're at the mercy of the monitor. We'll see who's all out there. Let's see 3 Sherbrooke Phoenix right now, but this could easily be another St. John Sea Dogs power play. And it will be. So the Sea Dogs back to the man advantage, 1-for-1 in the hockey game. We'll give it another whirl here. As we're going to send Ilya Kolmakov off to serve that extra minor. The man who scored both goals for the Phoenix is going to go and sit in the box. As that's an interesting choice there from head coach Gilles Bouchard. But I suppose it is just for the rest of the period as well. Éloi Bernard is out of the lineup, and he had 2 assists against the Sea Dogs earlier on this year. Thought it was a bit of a head scratcher in the scratch department. As a bit of a wait here for something. As we're going to send Bodom Foose to the penalty box while he's all bloodied up. And I don't really know. I assume that it was just quick off to go get some stitches, and it looks like that's where he's going to go. So my apologies there. I was wondering why he wasn't off to the room. But eventually, away he goes as he was bloodied up after that scrum. Few seconds left, up to the top of the point. Here's Baldwin. Needs a shot. It's blocked. Off for Grew. Has to let it go. He does. Rebound. Donovan's there. And the buzzer will go. As Alex Donovan was lurking, trying to jam that one home. But the clock hits 0. And that will do it here for the first period from Sherbrooke. 2-1 the score for the Phoenix after 20 minutes of play. Ilya Komlikov with both goals. Alex Donovan with the answer back for the Sea Dogs. And that is where we are now after 20 minutes of play. We'll take a break. When we come back, it will be period 2 action between these two hockey clubs here again. Welcome back. It looks like we are all set for period number 2. Luke Much on the call with you here on the Sea Dogs YouTube channel and Flow Hockey TV. Good to have the sound back on the broadcast. As here's Fullerton. So Sea Dogs with 1:40 left in the power play. It's going to be Fullerton working it up now. It's Rozzy playing it back for Grew. Rozzy goes to the point. Here's Baldwin handing it back. Dylan Rozzy down low. Donovan looking backdoor. Grew just fanned on that one. As again, here we come. The Phoenix try to get it out of the zone. It's Baldwin back for it. 70 seconds left on the man advantage. And we'll find Rozzy. Baldwin on the recollect. Works it in for Donovan. Sea Dogs have to get this power play set up here. Hasn't looked good so far. In our second period, it's picked off though, and here's a give and go, dropping it back a shot. The rebound just rifled off and wide. That would have been goal of the week. Sea Dogs just couldn't finish off that play. Here's Baldwin back for Rozzy, and that pass well away from Everett Baldwin, and outside of the zone it will come. Minute 15 rather now into our second period as the second power play unit starts to come out. Fullerton calls back as he wants to get this penalty kill all sorted out here. Here's Duhamel to lead the rush. He'll drop it back, and now with speed, taking it inside the zone is going to be Coche. Coche in there with Morin. As now Coche still trying to work this one out. Morin once again to the blocker side. We have Zach Morin up for Drabchinski. Back to 5-on-5. Duhamel. Drabchinski takes the shot. That one deflects off a body and didn't get towards the goal. Now turning on the Jets. Here comes Houle breaking in. And broken up there by Duhamel. Back again now. Spinning away from one is Coche. He's stripped of the puck there by McNeil. Seymour Domfus both in the penalty box here for the Sea Dogs to start off this second period. As we're now over 2 minutes in. Looking for a centering feed there was Gagnon. Not able to make that one happen as Drabchinski was there to stop it up. We have Duhamel now trying to lean on his stick and attempt to get it outside of the zone. Broken up. St. John goes D to D. Duhamel. Lots of time and space. We'll see what he can do with it. Fires a cross-ice pass. Sea Dogs able to dump this one down the length of the ice. As Stockseth out to corral this one. Yeah, it's going to be picked up. Lampron dumps this one inside of Sea Dogs territory. As now looking to move it back the opposite direction. It's going to be Grew finding Aru. Here comes Nolan Aru with speed. Chops it back. Grew tries to take a drive. Aru backhander in. Couldn't get to Stockseth. Aru again. He'll go down low for Grew. Olivier Grew, 2 men in on him. As Aru couldn't handle that pass as Gautier's feed got tipped away from him. Now here comes Komakov trying to take a shot. Looking for the hat trick. Lampron from behind the goal. Marked there by Magnuson. Chartrand as well. Both defensemen in the corner here for St. John. Clear path in front. Lampron couldn't get the first shot off. The rebound is in. Komakov has the hat trick. And it is now 3-1 for the Phoenix. It's just a broken play. Magnuson, Chartrand, both in the corner. Nobody out in front. And everybody scrambles trying to get back. You can see Gauthier coming down. Chartrand on his horse trying to get back. Grew was right there, but not able to stop it from finding the back of the cage. Ilya Komakov, the former Little Caesars U16 player, gets his first career hat trick. 5 points against the St. John Sea Dogs in what is not even 5 periods of play. Rolling at a pretty good pace right now. There's no doubt about that. Here's Morin trying to answer back. He'll look off back door, but not able to get the puck over for Rozzy. He had the right idea, though. Morin was caught with a high stick, pleading with the official, not going to get a call. Here comes Koche with it. Fires a pass up ice. Donovan plays it back. Rozzy, a delayed offside potentially. And now here come the Phoenix back the other way. Driving one in. That's up and over the cage. As the Phoenix tried to let a rip go from the top of the zone. Back we come once again. Lampron there. As it's going to be Wasmer. Here's Julian Wasmer. Back for Duhamel. Just about 5 minutes gone here from our first period. This one will head down the length of the ice for an icing call. After our first period of play, shots on goal were 14-11 in favor of St. John. Now each team with 2 apiece in our middle period of play. Sea Dogs scored 19-28 into the first period. And all it took for the Phoenix to come back and strike again was 15 seconds. Whenever Komakov got his second of the game to regain the lead for his Sherbrooke Phoenix. Off the draw, shot in there from Gagnon will go up and wide. As held in only momentarily. This one high up into the air. And eventually brought back down again by the Phoenix. As it's worked in and held on to by St. John. Lineups for tonight, a little bit odd. Online, it was listed that the Phoenix did not have a third-line center. They went 7D and 11 forwards, but instead of no fourth-line center, no third-line center. Jaden Plouffe and Ilya Komakov will have rotating centers. And the Sea Dogs as well going 11-7 with the absence of Alexi Joseph out of the lineup here tonight. That's a big loss there for St. John, their leading points getter. Joseph, 16 years old, former first overall pick, a lot of hype behind him, 54 points, 47 games. Quick shot in, the rebound is going to be fought off and then reeled back in by Stockstaff. What a game this is for him, as Parker Stockstaff, very strong stuff in the Phoenix goal. His first game was against the Armada. He gave up 3 goals on 8 shots. That's a tough welcome into the QMJHL against a strong team. Then he gave up 10 goals on 36 shots against the Voltigeur. And then he gave up 4 goals on 24 shots to the Victoriaville Tigre. Now here in facing off against the Sea Dogs. 17 shots against and only 1 goal has gone in against the Phoenix netminder. 18 shots against, and only 1 goal against the Phoenix netminder, Parker Stockstaff. It's Giroux, and it's Koche, and it's out of the zone. Phoenix try to dump this one in and head after it. It's McNeil on his horse. They're going to call an icing call as that one was close. Brogan McNeil, the former Shawinigan Cataract, 11 points in 22 games for him last year. Not quite at the same rate right now. 15 points in 49 games. Still making a difference here tonight. We'll redo this all over again, and a late whistle off the face-off, and looks like Giroux will be kicked out of the draw. As Etienne Giroux played on this Sherbrooke Phoenix team last year, he was cut in training camp. He went down to the QJHL, where he had 17 points in 15 games. And he was brought back up. Since then, he's played now 21 games. Good stick there by Dylan Rossi. Able to work that puck away from the intended target. Wraparound opportunity. Penalty coming up to the Sea Dogs. And it will be a Phoenix power play. As it looks like Dom Foose, perhaps. It is. And Bodom Foose will have to head off. So this is the first time that we have seen the Phoenix power play. And it will be a 2-minute man advantage. As we take a look here, power play in the year for Sherbrooke, 24%. That's 7th in the league. PK for St. John, 82.1%, is 3rd. So 2 strong penalty kill units. Out here now. Or special team units, excuse me. As Rousseau facing off against Olivier Gru in the circle. One back and Sherbrooke will control. Here's Tremblay, far side. Looking to center one in down low, it's Plouffe. As this one works back out again. Belmer out there for the Phoenix. This one will sneak by Tremblay at the line. And will head down and inside of his own end. Tremblay looking for the drop pass and he'll find it. Plouffe. Belmar had a little bit of trouble handling that one. And then he misses his feet on the way inside the zone. And that will allow the Sea Dogs to get it outside once again. This ultra-aggressive penalty kill here for St. John has been working wonders for them. It's been a bright spot. There's no doubt about that. As now here they come. The Phoenix work their way back in. And it's going to be played back once again as the Sea Dogs will not let the Phoenix enter inside the zone. Here comes Tremblay. 50 seconds left to go. And the man advantage looking back door, and they'll score. The only time that the Phoenix get into the Sea Dogs' end, and they make them pay. As a loose puck back door is going to find its way across, and Rousseau will tap it home. He has his 17th of the year. It's good zone entry. Komakov fires it back door. What a game for Ilya Komakov. Man, is he firing on all cylinders. 3 goals and an assist. And we aren't even halfway through this hockey game. And the Sea Dogs still out shooting the Sherbrooke Phoenix 18-17. Radkov has made 13 saves on 17 shots. 4-1 the score here for the Phoenix. Here's Nolan Aru. Works it over the blue line. Played back again. Magnuson. Across for Chartrand. Works it up ice. Sent back down and inside of the zone once again. As the Sea Dogs try to attack. Loose puck. Sherbrooke beats them to it. And here comes Cloukins. Inside the zone. Spinorama with the backhander. Riding off and wide. The rebound is going to be controlled there by Radkov. And he will wait for the whistle. With that, we'll step out. Sea Dogs down by now 3 against the Phoenix. Welcome back. We're underway. As off the draw, 12:07 left to go here in period number 2. Sea Dogs have given up 3 in a row and are now down by a score of 4-1. Here's Baldwin. He'll find Drabczynski. Plays it back again as Donovan tries to get it outside of the zone. Bordeaux will pin this one up and he'll keep it alive for the Phoenix. McNeil in there as well. Man, has he ever been a nice ad here for this Phoenix team. Brogan McNeil, he's not going to play a top line role for you, but a good bottom 6 guy. He's on the 4th line tonight with Olivier Lampron, Etienne Giroux. And he's been one of the more noticeable forwards here that have not gotten a point yet in this matchup. Of course, hard to overlook Ilya Kolmakov. 3 goals and an assist. And we aren't even halfway through this matchup. Here's a drive in, never got in towards the goal of Stockseth. As it's going to be Fullerton back again. One-timer, Coche fanned on it as he was tangled up there with Plouffe. Coche with it again, powers his way to the top of the zone. This one shot off wide. Donovan tries to corral the rebound, and it'll be sent past everybody and outside of the zone. There's Baldwin again now. Takes his time. He'll fire a long lead feed. Looking for Coche. Rozzi tries to spring himself. It won't work out. As now back we will come once again. It's going to be the Phoenix looking to recollect. Sent it in, and an icing call with 10:30 left to play in period number 2. As the Sea Dogs, it has not been their night. Playing against a rookie netminder who's struggled hard here in his first 3 games. And Stockseth, he's come on and he's had himself quite a game. Strong performance here so far. Here's Chartrand off the point. That one stopped up by Stockseth right on cue. Seymour getting to the blocker side corner. It's going to be rimmed around to the glove side. Drop back now as we have Gagnon with it. Forks a feed over to his assistant captain. Here's Bordeaux. Now Rozzi gets the turnover. Coche had an opportunity to go into the zone, but didn't work out for him. Now driving and looking for a shot. The rebound's there. Plouffe rifles that one up and over the cage. As again, it's going to be Della Rosebill. Played down low, and the net comes off of Radkov. And that will result in a whistle. Sherbrooke looking to advance above a 500 record. They're 24-24-4 right now. Dead even. The Sea Dogs 19-29-5. In their last 10, 3-6-1. Below the goal, here's Belmar. To the point it goes. Cross ice. Here's Gagnon. He'll activate in from the point. Gagnon's trying to spin away from Jabez Seymour. Cutting out in front. Good job by Seymour to muscle him away from the puck. Run him out of real estate. Bad angled shot there by Dubois. Isn't able to find the back of the cage. Dubois had 3 points against St. John when the Phoenix were at TD Station earlier on this calendar year. As it's Dom Foose on the delayed offside. 3-shot deficit and a 3-goal deficit. The Sea Dogs find themselves in. Seymour looks back door for Morin. Right idea, but again, strong defensive play. It's Brandon Della Rosebill who's able to come up big and use the shin pad to knock that one aside. Now it's McNeil over the blue line. Hands it off. Curls and fires and scores. Loic Poirier. 5th of the year. You wouldn't know it. What a release there. Uses the defenseman as a screen. Curls, fires under the crossbar. Everything you want and more. And it's 5-1 for the Phoenix. As it's taken into the zone there by McNeil. Well, I said it's been one of the better players here who's deserved a point and hasn't had one. He's got one now. as it's knocked away from him. Poirier. The old toe drag release. And here comes Rafael Corshane. That will be the end of Radkov's night. As the Phoenix just have not been friends of the Sea Dogs. 23 shots on goal against Radkov. 5 goals in the back of the net. And in comes Corshane, who was pulled the last time these two teams met up. These two parties relatively close in the standings. But a 6-3 win at TD Station, now a 5-1 game with 8:42 left to go in the second period. And here come the Phoenix again, quickly picked off. It's going to be Baldwin trying to work his way up. There's a bit of a dogfight for it at the blue line. We have Poirier. Back for Duhamel. Duhamel spins away as this one fired up the length of the ice. It's going to be grabbed there by Lapointe. As Lapointe receives, now Lampron on the give and go. Trying to shimmy this one up the ice. Haven't seen a whole lot of Fogon here tonight on the back end. The former London Knight. There he is now. He turns it over, though. Here come the Sea Dogs. Fullerton to the goal. A backhander scores. Angelo Fullerton gets the Sea Dogs back on the board with the beauty backhander. Low blocker. And the overage forward, the local kid, able to pot home his 17th of the season. As Angelo Fullerton off the turnover from PJ Fogan. Cuts to the backhander. Stockseth was a little shallow in his crease. Fullerton unassisted. Cuts the deficit to 3. So the Sea Dogs, head coach Travis Crickard pulls Arseny Radkov. In comes Rafael Corshane. And now all of a sudden, a little bit of momentum, a quick goal right after the goalie pull. We'll see if the Sea Dogs can keep it going. Quickly right back in again. Here come the Phoenix. It's Belmar. To the point it goes. Tremblay walks in, takes a drive. Loose puck in front. Corshane down. He'll pounce on it. And able to hold on with the mitt. As the Phoenix only took them 15 seconds to answer back after the first Sea Dogs goal. We'll see what they can come back with here. To the glove side of Radkov we will go. As the face-off down, one back by St. John. It's going to be Plouffe handing it off. Bordeaux driving the net with Komakov trying to center. Couldn't work that one out. Plouffe back down again looking for Komakov. As now still Plouffe with it. Waits trying to find his man. As Komakov out there as well. Looks like Houle will join them to complete this trio up front. Here is Florent Houle battling with Bodom Foose. Those two have been inseparable all night long. Far side at half wall. Tremblay tries to walk around his man. Corshane able to fight it off. As again up to the point now. Here comes Grew with a breakaway. Short-handed. Grew steps in and he fans on the shot. The rebound. Fullerton drops it back. Donovan. Now here's once again Fullerton. Plays it up to the point. Wasmer. Back for Fullerton again. Donovan now. As the Sea Dogs try to work it around Bordeaux. Works it back around as a rink-wide feed for Komakov. Couldn't hit him on the tape. It's going to be Aru. Curls, fires. That one blocked off by Tremblay. Nolan Aru back in on it again. Cloukins. It's going to be Dubois. As it's played back and forth here between these two teams. We have 5:50 left to go in period number 2. 5-2 the score in favor of the hometown Phoenix. The visitor Sea Dogs with a bit of momentum right now. A goalie pull by Travis Crickard and a quick goal. There's a little bit of life back in them here again. We'll see if they can add another one and continue to chip away at this deficit. Della Rosebolt plays one up the middle. Dumped in, Wasmer. He'll jam on the brakes. Lampron throws a wild check, not able to connect there. As these two continue to battle it out, eventually it's going to be pitchforked out of the zone. Gauthier takes a whack at that one. Can't advance the play. Chartrand looks to throw one up ice. As now Tremblay once again logging a lot of minutes, and he'll send in Belmar, who jams on the brakes, takes a shot, the rebound out in front as it's going to be corralled by McNeil. Up to the point, long drive in, Corshane yet another save. Worked back once more. As Giroux can't get there, Gagnon, McNeil at the point, covering back there for Gagnon. Now here is Lapointe from the point. Belmar down low. Tries to rip one around the horn again. Lapointe leaks in, looking back door. That pass was deflected off and away from Gauthier. Or by Gauthier, I should say. Bank feed. Now here comes Rozzi, trying to spring himself. Met there by two Sherbrooke Phoenix. And he's pinned up, and Bordeaux will go off the boards. Not able to get it out of the zone. Rozzi. Back again, Lapointe. As we have Bordeaux. 4 minutes now left to play. It's been a free-flowing second half to this second period. Magnuson inside of his own end. Glove side of Corshane will go D to D. As it's Drabchinski now taking over. Baldwin looks through the inside, couldn't connect. He'll turn it over instead, as now the Phoenix will try to headman the puck up ice. Turned over, here's Drabchinski entering into the zone, looking for the feed across, nobody home. Puck clears back to the red line. Magnuson takes a swing at it, but we will have a whistle and a slashing call on the play. We'll step out when we come back. Looks like a Sea Dogs power play. Welcome back. Luke Much here with you on the Sea Dogs YouTube channel and Flow Hockey TV. The Sea Dogs and the Phoenix continue to battle things out as we etch closer to the end of the second period. It's going to be Rozzi, throws it up to the point, but waiting there, and now driving inside the zone. It's going to be Dubois. Remember, Sea Dogs on a power play here as Florent Houle went to the box for a slashing call. Sea Dogs, of course, without Alexi Joseph. It's been noticeable here tonight with no number 19 in white and blue. Here comes Donovan up for Fullerton. Fullerton tries to play this one in deep. It's going to be just crocheted around again as Fullerton for Donovan with space back door over the stick of Rozzi. What an opportunity that was. There's a nice passing play. Here's Baldwin. Cross ice one-timer. Blocked off in front by Lapointe. Puck won't settle down. Now it does. Rozzy to the point for Baldwin. 70 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Baldwin finds Rozzy. Another drive in. Dubois is there. Turned over. Here's Grew back up top. It's going to be Baldwin. Throws it towards the goal, but not near enough on it to get through the defender. And that will be easily sent down the length of the ice as that relieves the pressure. As the Sea Dogs will have to go again. Here's Baldwin. Drops it off. As that looks like Dom Foose out there on the point. Coche now. Down low. Morin will join him. Seymour on the second line power play for the St. John Sea Dogs. Coche's stick breaks on him. Now Morin, Seymour, Dom Foose all in that board battle. Morin has to work his way around the broken stick. Seymour out in front. Couldn't get a clean tip off that opportunity. Here comes Morin through the middle of the goal of the ice. Seymour can't connect with him, and we are now back to 5-on-5. Under 90 seconds left to play, driving the net hard. And now that's going to cause a scene as Olivier Lampron wants to drop the gloves. Here's Duhamel. They're talking about it. Duhamel's got to be careful. Lampron's going to get a penalty. Duhamel's going to as well. Lampron, he's not much of a points getter anymore. 3 major penalties in 11 games played since coming back this season. Former 9th overall draft pick. As Lampron and Duhamel both shown the gate. Most likely 10-minute misconducts, 2 and 10s. There's Lampron. Cuts right in front of Corshane. Not really connecting with him, but Dom Foose takes exception. It's going to be Duhamel that ends up with him. And we'll see what happens here. Looks like the Sea Dogs are short-handed out of all this. So Nolan Aru will sit the extra minor. This is only the second time all night that the Sea Dogs have been short-handed. They're currently back to the penalty kill, as they are 0 for 1 on the PK. Off the draw. Hard clear down. It's going to be Fullerton. Races in. Cuts to the inside. Tries to get a shot away. Cannot do so. As we now leak into the final minute of play in our second period. Sea Dogs need to kill off this penalty. Thrown to the top of the point. Tremblay dishes it off wide. Back for Tremblay again. Opening up. Plouffe, a one-timer, scores. Jaden Plouffe on the power play from Tremblay, 6-2. Tremblay dishes it on a platter. Plouffe beats Corshane to the short side. Sea Dogs now 0 for 2 on the penalty kill. Uncharacteristic for them in the special teams department. Well, that's been the kind of night it's been for St. John. There's 40 seconds left to go. It will be dumped in to the Phoenix end. Here's Seymour. Loses that battle. Held in at the line by Drabchinski. Half a minute now left to go. Poirier drops it back. On the give and go, it's Fogan. Centering feed up ice. Now Crayer on the backhander. Looking for Seymour. Crayer on the second attempt will go back inside of his own zone for Drabchinski. Drabchinski goes off the boards now. This one will be dumped in with 5 seconds left to go, and that will pretty much do it for the first 2 periods of play as the clock winds down and zeros on the board. Fogan gives a late shot to Seymour, and Fino Jabez, he's not going to let that one slide as the two of them wrestle it around towards the bottom of the ice. Fogan and Seymour continue to go at things. So this is boiled down, and with that, we'll step out. When we come back, the final 20 from Sherbrooke. Welcome back. We are 40 minutes through here between the Sherbrooke Phoenix and the St. John Sea Dogs. The Sea Dogs down right now, but still a lot of fight left in them. Elsewhere in the QMJHL, Newfoundland and Cape Breton, that was able to be settled off early on in Newfoundland. And meanwhile, the Charlottetown Islanders have put an end to the 12-game win streak of the Moncton Wildcats. They beat them 6-5 in a shootout. Marcus Kiersey, Yvonne Ryabkin, the 2 goals. Donald Hickey was 2 for 2 in the shootouts for saves. And the Moncton Wildcats have lost their first game in 13 games against an Islanders team that has struggled over the last little bit. So anything can happen. And with with 3 Sherbrooke Phoenix in the penalty box, that's quite a sight. It's going to be a Sea Dogs power play. And another opportunity to take charge here in this third period. Out in front, scores! Out of nowhere, Angelo Fullerton. His second goal of the evening. Sea Dogs on the power play again. Will cash in. As here's the dump in from Baldwin. Off a stanchion off the back of the net, out in front, and Fullerton rips it into the back of the cage. I'll be honest, I was marking down my the penalty on my notes. And I look up and Fullerton's got a clear cage in front of him. So quick work on the power play for the St. John Sea Dogs. Both teams 2 power play goals. And we are once again chipping away the lead. The Sea Dogs with the last 2 goals in this hockey game. Down by 3 in the third period. As here's Bordeaux. He'll play it along the half wall. As now it's going to be Thomas Rousseau with a goal here tonight on a fantastic Ilya Komakov pass on the back door. As now chipped inside the zone, Donovan tries to throw one down low. Rossi shoots that one off the shoulder of Stockset. That's a big save for him. On the screen out in front, it's a difficult shot to stop, and he handled it well. Now turned over. Sea Dogs trying to attack once again. It's going to be worked back as the Phoenix quickly try to counterattack. Worked in by Dubois. As it's picked up now by Maxime Coche. Coche playing in his 214th QMJHL game here this evening as it's centered out in front. Morin had that one tipped away from him. Olivier Grew, Sunday, the next matchup for the St. John Sea Dogs will play against the Gatineau Olympique at 4 o'clock. That's going to be the captain, Olivier Grew, his 150th game in his QMJHL career. He's also got 97 points, so would have an opportunity to get into triple-digit points in his career on Sunday. As Chartrand now. Coche as well. The status for Joseph remains up in the air. We'll have to wait and see. As Fullerton with it again. Over the red line. Angelo Fullerton on hat-trick watch. We've already had one in this game. And maybe we'll get another with the Sea Dogs. 81 lurking around, trying to find that third goal. Offensive zone face-off. One back. Bordeaux with it again. Now it's going to be along the blue line. Baldwin. As here come the Phoenix with it again. Trying to drive in a shot there from the point was Tremblay. And now the Dogs try to counterattack once more. Heroux couldn't recept that pass as it was all tangled up in the navy jerseys of the Phoenix. Nice move by Nolan Heroux. Heru walks over the blue line, walks into 4 sweaters, almost dangles through all of them as it's poke checked along by the Sea Dogs. Heru, the 10th overall selection in the 2025 QMJHL draft, had 33 points in 26 games at the major U18 level in Quebec before being called up just around the halfway mark in this regular season. He's played 28 games and has 9 assists so far, with 12 games remaining. It's going to be 10 games remaining after this one's all wrapped up. The season has flown by at times. As Drabchinski plays it in now. Here's Donovan trying to get a backhander off. Lane wasn't there. He'll find Drabchinski. Another shot. Rossi tries to get the rebound forced in towards the goal. It's going to drain down for an icing call with 16:39 left to play in period number 2. As the Sea Dogs now down by 3. Here's Gagnon to Grew on the intercept. Tries to spin one around. Now Drabchinski, who's been a name that we've called a lot here this evening. To Lampron, Olivier Lampron. Back for Drabchinski again. 16:15 left to go. 6-3 the score. As we have Claukins. Thrown back again. It's going to be Della Rosebel. Della Rosebel tries to gear up and he'll negotiate his way through the neutral zone as Bellemare picks it up, looking back door. Not able to connect. Up to the top of the point once more. Tremblay loads and releases. That one fought off by Corshane. Nobody knew where it was. It ended up and into the netting, as Raphael Corshane has been strong since coming in. Relief for Arseny Radkov. As Rousseau, Coche, the 291s square off. It's one back by the one wearing the navy sweater. As Tremblay lets it rip. Now here's Wasmer. Can't get it outside the zone. Bellemare walks in. Corshane able to ramp it off his stick and into his glove. As Wasmer tried to clear the zone and it ended up being turned over and creating an opportunity the other way for the Phoenix. So to the glove side of Corshane. Coche out there with Fullerton and Seymour. As the lines have been mixed up here a little bit. Here comes Jabez Seymour. Seymour drives in, looks to center one out in front. Fullerton and Coche both driving the net, couldn't reach. As Angelo Fullerton didn't have a power play goal in his QMJHL career until this year. He had 1 heading into this game. He's now got 3. As both of his goals here this evening, he now has 2. The first power play goal for the Sea Dogs came by the way of Alex Donovan. Second one came to Angelo Fullerton. So 2 power play goals in his QMJHL career now. Here's a feed. Walking in, Bellemare drops it back. The shot coming in is going to be blocked off. Can't believe that one wasn't shot in towards the goal. Morin on the drop feed. Here's Donovan racing in. Tries to cut in towards the goal. Back behind the net again. It's going to be thrown up to the top of the point. Magnuson shoots. That one blocked. Rebound to the glove side of Stockseth. As fired down low. Inside of the Sea Dogs end. Quick feed right back up the gut. As Grew can't beat out Giroux. On the half wall, it's going to be cleared back to the red line. Baldwin with it again. Here's Magnuson. Ramps this one up and off the stick of his intended target, Donovan, and into the netting. As a face-off coming at center ice. Sea Dogs still down by 3 in the third period. Gagnon off the draw, goes D to D. It will be moved inside of the Sea Dogs camp as Corshane goes post to post as the puck follows them around. Here's now Magnuson firing a pass. That one was near shoulder height on Nolan Aru. Delarose-Bill will pin him up. Aru with it, tries to drive the net in hard. He's been strong here this evening as Nolan Aru still looking for his first QMJHL goal. As here's Magnuson now taking the shot wide of the mark. Rebound for Aru. Turns and fires off the stick of Stockseth. Magnuson again. Fires it down low. Crayer's wrestled down and the whistle goes. And I would have to think perhaps a penalty. We'll see. We'll step out when we come back. Maybe a Sea Dogs power play here from Sherbrooke. Here we go. We're back at the face-off circle as it will be a Sea Dogs power play as Delarose-Bill will head off to the box. 5th time that the Sea Dogs have been on the man advantage here tonight. Stockseth plays it a little safer here on this rim around as it's sent down for Baldwin to recollect. Here comes St. John. Rozzi for Grew. Back for Rozzi again. Drops it back. Trying to fork one in there was Donovan. Looks like he might be slow to get up back behind the play. Baldwin now. Tries to cut back on one. 2 Phoenix sweaters in on him. Grew will now dump this one in. Rozzi quickly on the forecheck there. Donovan back up to his feet. He'll try to pin up Plouffe. 12.5 now left to go. To the point we come. Baldwin, Grew, walks in. That one tipped off and wide. Rebound is there. Not able to shovel that one in was Fullerton. Looking for the hat trick. As it's sent back down the length of the ice with 40 seconds left to go in the power play. Here comes Koche with the second unit now. He'll lead the charge, dump it in. Nobody able to slow it down for St. John, and it will be fired back down again. As it's dropped back, Morin plays the rim around. We're now back to 5-on-5. Sea Dogs go 2 for 5 on the power play. Still a very strong clip that they're rolling at here. Here's now Drabchinski for Seymour. Seymour with time, drops it back, and he'll go for Bo Damphus. Damphus back again, and here's Seymour trying to ramp up his speed. And it's going to be played back around on the backhander. Lampron will try to spring himself on the give and go. That pass cut up in his skates, and nothing will happen from that. With under 11 minutes now left to play, it's going to be Tremblay firing one in and around the horn. As Julian Wasmer. Now Drabchinski is there as well. Wasmer once again tries to fire a backhander inside of the zone. Tremblay stops it up. We have Crayer now activating. Lampron as well. Gauthier is there as it's off the glass and down. Here comes Wasmer bringing it back. Trying to drop that feed was Komakov. He would have had goal 4 there potentially if the shot would have came off his stick. Komakov again, a nice move. Gauthier intercepts. Long stretch feed. Aru walks around one. He's tangled up with there. And then pushed away from the puck. That's now a feed back the other way. Here's McNeil offside. 10:01 left to go in period number 3. Nolan Aru with a great opportunity. Was thinking maybe a potential penalty there, as Aru got pushed away when the puck was already gone, but no call from the official on that one, and the faceoff will be just outside the blue line of the St. John Sea Dogs. So Corshane with it. It's going to be picked up Magnuson. Now here comes Fullerton. He'll dish it across. Baldwin on the give and go. Rozzi takes a chop at this one down to the glove side as Gagnon looks to revamp. Grew back for Rozzi. He was handcuffed. And it's going to fall back for McNeil. On the D-to-D pass, Gagnon looks to gear up once again. Rousseau plays the dump and chase as we have Poirier in after it, and he'll win it looking out in front. Not able to center that one across. Here's Baldwin with it again. On the reverse rim around. Quick feed to the middle. Magnuson looks up ice. He'll cross the red line and just be content to dump that one in. Back to the blocker side once again now. Here's Poirier. Works it across for the quick shot in. This one is going to be just off and wide as off the glass, bouncing right back through the blue paint. Now Sherbrooke setting up Tremblay to the point. Giroux. Around it will go. Belmar. As it's Komakov to the point. Tremblay wants to shoot. Waits. Trying to find a lane. Eventually he does. Corshane has some trouble with it, but it's going to be forced off to the glove side corner. Now worked outside of the zone. Damphus crosses the blue, looks back door. He'll take the shot himself. And a good stop there by Stockseth as Bo Damphus tried to let one go over the short side. Here's Olivier Grew directing traffic off the face-off. As we have Florent Houle in there as well. Here's LaPointe. Works it back once more. We have Gagnon. And this one will go down for an icing call with 8:03 left to play. In period number 3, Sea Dogs down by 3 themselves. A lot of threes there. No threes on the score sheet, though. A lot of 1s and 9s. Angelo Fullerton, of course, and then Kolmakov, Rousseau. Houle with a pair of secondary helpers. And here's Baldwin from the blue line. This one's going to go right up into the slot. Fullerton trying for the hat trick. Can't cash in. Kolmakov, now Plouffe. Rink wide feed. Here's Houle. Who stops it off. That one shot on the rebound. Corshane able to fight it off as well. Houle again, just following the puck around. Domfus physical in on him. As Houle and Domfus has gone back and forth here. Really the whole night long. Fullerton takes a swing at that one with the 60-degree. Doesn't work out. Played back once again. Trying to cut in. Kolmakov. Backdoor feed. What a play. Ilya Kolmakov. Have yourself a night. His 5th point of the game. Both of them back-to-back backdoor feeds on the assists. And I mean, man. I'm not even going to say a word. Just watch that. As Ilya Kolmakov, the rookie, has just set a career high in points with 5. His previous high was 3. And you have to imagine that he is up and racing through the leaderboards for Sherbrooke Phoenix rookie points in one game. 3 goals, first career hat trick. And he's added 2 assists onto that. 5 points. What an evening for him. 6:45 left to go. To the point we come. Here's Magnuson. Down low. Nolan Aru. Lampron. Over the red line. Olivier Lampron gets closed in on by 3 Sea Dogs. Crayer now. Takes it up and over the red line. Here's Aru. Off for Crayer. He'll take a shot. This one rides up high and wide. Gauthier blows a tire on the back check. 2-on-2, 3-on-2. Belmar takes a shot from a bad angle. Rebound. Wasmer's leveled off in front by Lampron. And Wasmer wants to go. Lampron, I don't think, has any interest, but he will take a trip to the penalty box. As Olivier Lampron continues to rack up the penalty minutes. He's been busy in that department for sure. So, another Sea Dogs power play, I do believe. As Lampron heads off. This season, 12 games, 31 penalty minutes for Olivier Lampron. And 3 majors, it says here. So the Sea Dogs back to the man advantage. Baldwin at the top of the point. Plays it down low. Donovan looking in front. Just missing there was Rozzi. Fullerton trying for the hat trick. Here he is. Blows a tire. Not able to get the shot off. Donovan quickly on his horse. Back it's going to be Fullerton. Controlling again. Here's Angelo Fullerton. To the point it comes. Baldwin takes the shot himself. The rebound knocked away from Donovan. Rozzi back for Baldwin. He'll take another drive in. Stopped up by Stockseth. Baldwin again. Quarterback on this first power play unit for St. John. Rink wide feed was well behind Fullerton, and it will sneak outside of the zone. 1:05 left to go here on this Sea Dogs power play. 7-3 the score in favor of the Phoenix. The Sea Dogs have given up 13 goals in their first 2 games of this Quebec road trip. Corshane out to play it, and it's going to hit the official. Stay inside the zone. Here's Donovan now. Drops it back, Baldwin. Sea Dogs still in the power play. Baldwin gets bodied off the puck. Belmar tries to race in. with a backhander he's pushed off as well. Rossi now over the red line. Here comes Coche. Lapointe gears up, shimmies along a backhander. Here's Gagnon. Long stretch feed down the length of the ice to clear off some more time on the penalty clock. With 15 seconds now left to go in this matchup. Coche hands it across. It's going to be Seymour. No look backhander. Be careful with those as Coche looks to ramp things up. With that, the penalty is going to be killed off, and we are back to 5-on-5. Here come the Dogs. With it again. It's turned over as the Phoenix try to race back in. Lampron, nice attempt there, but can't sidestep Drabchinski. Under 4 minutes left to play. We have Morin across for Crayer. Crayer down low, looking out in front. Lampron will just shovel that puck up, and taking over is McNeil. Nice feed. Here's a drive in, that one wide. Rebound is chopped at by McNeil, but blocked off, by Drabchinski. 3.5 now, up to the point. Gagnon around for McNeil. Couldn't get there in time. Seymour fails to get it out. It will go into the bench, and we will go to a TV timeout. Sea Dogs down by 4 in the dying minutes of this one. Sea Dogs and Phoenix. 3:20 left to play in period number 3. Score 7-3 in favor of the hometown squad. As here's Wasmer. Back for Nolan Aru. Now it's Crayer trying to play a feed through for Gauthier. Couldn't go tape to tape on that try. Now here's Dubois. Dubois looking back door, and a nice passing play as Cloukins will go across for Russo. And the Phoenix have a 5-goal lead. As Olivier Dubois continues his strong play against the Sea Dogs, goes down low to Cloukins. And across for the streaking Thomas Russo. 1 knee, 1 tee. Second goal of the game. As it's turned into point night here in Sherbrooke. Here come the Phoenix once again. Under 3 minutes now left to go. It's turned over. Donovan springs it through one. Has to get it to Fullerton. Penalty coming to the Phoenix. Centered out in front. Shot coming in, and they'll score. It's going to be Everett Baldwin. He'll let this one go. Fullerton with a 3-point night, as does Everett Baldwin. 2 assists and 1 goal. 8-4 the score. As Everett Baldwin came into this one 4th in defensive goals with 11 on the year. I believe Marcus Kiersey leads the league with 13. So Baldwin continues to climb up the scale. And a 3-point evening for him will bring his point totals to 33 points in 52 games. Angelo Fullerton, 2 goals and an assist as well. But at the end of the day, the team's not getting the points. It's down by 4 right now. Elsewhere across the QMJHL, as we mentioned earlier, 4-1, the Newfoundland Regiment beat the Cape Breton Eagles. The Mary Brown Center, the Islanders snapped the Moncton Wildcats' 12-game win streak. They beat out Gardner McDougall's team 6-5 in a shootout. They'll face off again tomorrow at the Avenir Center. Victoriaville has beaten Rimouski by a score of 6-1. Drummondville over Halifax is still live with a 6-4 score in favor of the Voltigeurs. The Armada were able to double up against the Olympique by a score of 6-3. The Rampart beat out the Drakkar by a score of 6-0. And then Chicoutimi, also another live game, up 3-0 against the Rouyn-Noranda Huskies. In the tight Western Conference, as there's been a lot of talk about the Eastern Conference and how tight that's been, and then you take a look, and the West is tight as well. In the QMJHL, the AUS as well is very tight. Playoffs going on right now. UPEI were able to beat out St. Mary's tonight in those, and UNB, of course, resting up. Another fantastic season for the University of New Brunswick, home to the Sea Dogs for 3 games this year. Great atmosphere at the Aitken Center for those 3 matchups. Of course, the Maritime Junior Hockey League, very tight as well. In the Western Conference, there's 4 teams all within a few points. Of course, Shane able to fight that one off. And up to the point it will come. Of course, in the Eastern Conference as well, tight, but the Western Conference very close. Here's one going up to the point. Give and go with 55 seconds left to play. And it's going to be sent back down the length of the ice. As right now the score 8-4 for the Sherbrooke Phoenix. Like to send in a big shot there, and Seymour will score. But I was going to say a special hello goes out to the con man who's tuned in here tonight. Received a tweet from him as Seymour cuts the deficit to 3. As Jabez Seymour continues to be red hot for the St. John Sea Dogs, but too little too late. As time continues to come down. As St. John again looks to gear up. Driving it in, it's going to be Crayer. Tries to get a stick on it. Played back once again. With 10 seconds left to go. Cloukins throws it up, and it will settle down in the neutral zone, and that will do it. Not a game that the Sea Dogs would have liked to have if they looked into hindsight here before they entered into this matchup with the Sherbrooke Phoenix, as they drop this one by a score of 8-5. As they go 0 for 2 on this Quebec road trip, but a very important matchup against the Gatineau Olympique on Sunday. 4 o'clock start time, as the Sea Dogs will look to right the ship again. As Parker Stockseth gets the puck for his first win in the QMJHL. Kian LeBay there to congratulate his goalie partner. And for us, that will do it. And we'll meet back up here Sunday, 4 o'clock versus Gatineau. Thank you for tuning in. Sea Dogs with an off day. And we'll catch everybody back here Sunday, 4 o'clock. Olympique and Sea Dogs as the Sea Dogs try to end off this road trip with a win.